Recently, Sony revealed that 4 games in its portfolio would be making the jump to PlayStation 4. Flower, Sound Shapes, and Flow will all leap from PlayStation 3 to PS4, while Skateplan would make its way from PlayStation Vita to PS4. Luckily, I just saw all 4 games running on PlayStation 4, and I'm pleased to report back that all look and play just as well as they did the first time around, with some minor caveats, of course. For starters, if you already own these games for PS3 and/or Vita, you don't have to buy them again. If you purchased Flower 3 years ago on PlayStation 3, you can download it free of charge. If you acquired Skateplan when it launched on Vita, it's yours for free on PS4. The same goes for the other titles. Each of the games has its own unique PS4-centric trophy list to boot. Flower looks absolutely stunning on PlayStation 4. It was drop-dead gorgeous on PS3 to begin with, but its jump to the next gen has been extremely kind. It also controls better than it did on PS3. Your Flower Petals movement is still tethered to 6-axis motion controls, but DualShock 4 does it so much better and smoother than DualShock 3. The difference is noticeable. I absolutely cannot wait to sink more time into this when I get my PlayStation 4. It will be a nice change of pace from all the shooting I'll be doing in Killzone. Sound Shapes is as unique and charming as ever. I really loved playing it on PS Vita, but it was great on PS3 too, and it too has made the leap to PS4 successfully. The game's producer informed me that Sony and developer Queasy Games intends on continuing its support for Sound Shapes into the future too, which is great news. I asked if they do actual album DLC, they wouldn't say, but you can expect more community tools and the like coming down the pipe for all 3 platforms. Flow, that game company's original title for Sony, was a unique and cerebral game, and it remains that way on PlayStation 4. It looks gorgeous running on PS4, and while I think it's the weakest game of the bunch, that's a relative statement. It's still a great game, and it will totally be worth spending some time with on PS4, especially if you already own it and therefore don't have to sink more dollars into acquiring it. And then we come to Skateplan. This was the game out of the 4 shown that I was most interested in because it was never a console game to begin with. Skateplan is one of Vita's finest titles, but it's also almost entirely reliant on touch controls. It uses front touch, back touch, and more. Sony has worked around this by mapping back touch, for instance, to DualShock 4's triggers. Instead of touching the screen to move little and large, you move a cursor with the analog sticks to tell them where to go. It's worth noting that the cursor movement was super broken when I played, but this was attributed by the producer to Bluetooth interference. Flower and Sound Shapes will be available for PS4 on the PlayStation Network on November 15th, in time for the launch of the console in North America. Flow and Skateplan will come a bit later, releasing on November 29th, in time for the launch of the console in Europe. For our updated impressions on all 4 games, including full reviews, keep it tuned to IGN.